Virtual Village family. How are you all doing this evening? I hope you all are doing well. I know we are feeling good, especially good tonight, because it's a special time for us. As you can see right here, this young one is on it. She is wishing us a happy anniversary. And thank you so much, Shania. If you all are not aware, this is our 1 year anniversary. So I have to say to you, co-host, let me kick that Tony. Do you know what today is? It's our anniversary. So happy anniversary, co-host. How are you doing this evening?
I'm doing just fine. Happy anniversary to you and the, let's see, Literacy Gang, Virtual Village. Let's get clever reading crew. You name it. We've been through a whole lot of the influencers. So much to celebrate.
So much to celebrate. And I mean, as you go through the changes, I think this, really speaks to the reality of the situation that we have been in, because things, have gradually changed, progressed, or whatever. And that's how this whole endeavor has been. I was watching the footage from our first show, and I felt all the feels. Like, I remember that day so vividly. I remember me texting you frantically about what are the children going to eat? What are they going to do? Because, at that point, we had no idea we were going to be in this for a full year. We're thinking 2 weeks. And I'm like, well, that's 2 weeks of children, some children who rely on their meals at school. So I'm frantically texting you, and, we get on the phone and we put this thing together. And that first day, when I watch that video, I feel the mood of the time, the uncertainty, the angst, the excitement, all of those different things at that time. And it's just amazing what has come together within this year. A lot has transpired, as you can see, from the very beginning. Yes. So it's been a great ride with you as the co-host. And I don't know, what were you feeling or thinking when you watched that clip?
Well, it was so interesting. So number one, the first thing you said was good morning. So it hit me again that I think that first week, I know we did at least 2 shows. We may have done 3 that first week. I think we may have done one like 9, one at noon, and then one in the evening. But the very first thing I saw you say when I was watching it was good morning. So it took me back to that. And then this week, at least for Norfolk Public Schools, since Norfolk has just gone back to in-person learning for those who wish, at least at the elementary school level, it also reconnected me to that, because I was out visiting schools today and yesterday. So literally that whole 1 year. And as you said in that clip, you literally said, well, we think we're going to be doing this for 2 weeks. And here we are 365 plus days later. And we're still out here doing this work and up here reading and promoting literacy. And there's so much we'll talk about, and I'll add some more as we go on with the show. Yeah,
definitely. We have amassed. We have created, like you said, from the Let's Get Clever virtual community read-in to our influencers and their internship, to it turning into the Literacy Gang, and then the Virtual Village show. So a lot has transpired, and we've stayed true to the goal, and we've amassed quite a wonderful village, a lot of great villagers. So many people who came and read during the quarantine time, where people were nervous and uncertain in the community that has been built here, and, moving right on to our teachers and, our crew that we have doing work behind the scenes. Like, this turned into more than we ever could have imagined on that day. And it's because of a community effort. So we have some wonderful people on tonight who are going to join us, people who have been our A1 day one with us throughout this time. And we're excited to bring them on. And of course, we also have our community connector who will be here this evening. So let's go ahead and make sure that our Shania affirms us and our Kalia grounds us. And then we're going to come back and chop it up with some of these familiar faces. And I'm super, super excited about this. So let's run that affirmation, y'all, okay?
Greetings, virtual villagers. My name is Shania, and do you know what time it is? It's affirmation time! time to remind ourselves how great we are. So everybody, repeat after me. I am smart. I have purpose. I am confident. I am valuable. My voice is worthy of being heard. I am an asset to my family, school, and community. I respect myself and I respect others. I am beautifully made inside and out. I love my beautiful hair and I love my beautiful brown skin. I am more than enough. Great job, virtual villagers. Can I get a virtual high five? Great job. And always remember how fantastic you are.
And this is today's moment in history.
Virginia's massive resistance to school desegregation. After the 1954 ruling of Brown versus the Board of Education of Topeka, Kansas, that mandated schools be desegregated, the Virginia state government, headed by U.S. Senator Harry Flood Byrd, decided they would respond with a massive resistance policy under the guise of the Supreme Court's ruling being an unconstitutional violation of states' rights to discriminate against Black people. The Byrd Organization, which was a Democratic powerhouse, used its power and influence to impede and stop any attempts at desegregation that might take place. The massive resistance campaign was backed heavily by many of the more notable media outlets, with the only exception being the Norfolk Virginian Pilot. The massive resistance tactics included closing any school facing a federal desegregation order, harassing and scaring any Black parents and the NAACP for trying to bring a desegregation case to court, while also establishing the Commission of Constitutional Government that had the sole purpose of upholding segregation and the ideology of the Confederacy. Massive resistance failed when the federal government stepped in, and because the financial burdens of supporting private white-owned schools killed the general white public support because they couldn't afford the private schools, a legacy that the massive resistance left behind was the use of private schools and the underfunding of public schools to get around the Brown versus Board ruling.
The Virtual Village Show is back with Season 4, starting February 1st every Monday through Wednesday. The Virtual Village is ready to inspire all ages. Our industry-leading teachers are here to reinforce foundational literacy skills, provide culturally affirming literature, and we have exciting Black History facts for the entire family. Log on today at clevercommunities.org or visit our social media pages.
Buying or selling a home doesn't have to be difficult. At the James Allen Group, we work tirelessly to get families into homes and to get our listings sold quickly at the best price. James Allen, our principal broker, has over 30 years of experience as a realtor. As a U.S. Navy veteran, his knowledge of Hampton Roads and its community is a vital tool in meeting the home buying needs of military families. If you're ready to buy or sell your home, contact the James Allen Group at 757-449-8322. Sign up today for our free home buyer or seller seminar at jamesallengroup.com.
All right, so I am feeling affirmed. Shania always comes through with that affirmation and makes all of us feel good. And we are sending virtual high fives to the entire village out there. There it is. Teresa said virtual high five to you. So everybody is feeling that. And then Kalia comes through and gets us so grounded. And what a wonderful moment in history tonight. Consider that we have two people from Norfolk Public School Board on here, but we won't get all into that tonight. But I think it was fitting because it's definitely something that shaped our community. So we want to start out, we're celebrating the fact that we have been focusing on culturally affirming literature, keeping literacy, keeping reading alive in so many ways. But African American children's literature has been the center, the grounding, the focal point for all of this. And again, we jumped up on there on March 16, 2020 and made it happen. And it's grown into a lot of things, but we have to bring on, Rodney, as you mentioned, when we were doing this 3 times a day, the first day, and then it went to 2 times a day, we had a soldier. We had a soldier who was there with us, and we came up with this system where people were signing up to read in different slots, and we needed other people to help us host, as well as filling with the reading. And so this woman here has been a trooper. We have got to celebrate her. So right now, let's bring on Miss Tanya Basine. Let's bring her on. Yes, Tanya, how are you doing?
Good. How are you?
We are doing well. Glad to see you again.
Good to see you. It's been a long time, and I can't believe I can't tell you how many emotions it brings up to not only see that clip, but to realize that we've been in this for 1 whole year. And really, yesterday was our first day, as Rodney said, it was the first day our youngest students returned back to school, and to watch some of them walk into their school buildings for the first time was just amazing. There was so much excitement, and there was so much hesitation too, from especially the young students who might be coming to the school building for the first time, in their educational careers. So it was really it's an emotional time, but an exciting time that we're kind of moving forward and adapting to this situation. So
Yes.
yeah.
I mean, it's so true, because it's a year for the virtual village show, but it's a year for everybody as
Right.
having gone through this situation, no matter what their experiences have been. And I
Right.
was speaking to one of our teachers on the virtual village show, who is a kindergarten teacher, who brought up that point that I think some people weren't thinking about. We had babies who have never had a school experience before, besides
Right.
the virtual learning. And they're coming into school for the first time, having to get acclimated with those fundamental things. Where's the bathroom?
Right.
When to get up and not get up in class. So it's been a lot, but it's a year, and we're here.
Right. That's right.
We are here through it all. So this is
Right.
not just a celebration of the virtual village show, but a celebration of all of us and what we have been through, what we have overcome, education wise, personally, all of those different things. So we're definitely glad to have you here. And before we start bringing on any other guests, I do want to ask you, was there any fond memory that you'd like to share as a veteran OG virtual village host?
Oh, the OG, huh? Well, I remember when you had started doing this multiple times a day, and I remember thinking, it honestly, and I think I might have said this in one of the first few shows, that it was at a time that was full of anxiety and fear about what was to come. This show was something that I know in our house we looked forward to every day. It was kind of the highlight. It was something that we knew was happening at a particular time, and just filled with so many stories, and just getting to see one another. And I think that's what that's one of the things that I think has been a great experience throughout this whole thing, is that even though we couldn't be in person together, we found ways to be together in other ways, and enjoying literature and enjoying stories. And so I think of those early days fondly, especially when there wasn't much. It was such a scary time that that this show and being part of this was really the highlight of the day. So, and I thank you both for continuing to keep it up and, really engage our young adults with the influencers and, just it's pretty amazing. And I just hope that this continues. It's just really highlighted that there are various ways to bring literature into our families' homes and, and stories. So thank you both for all that you're doing.
So,
Thank you.
Tanya, just remind me, what was the Power Women series book that
Rebel Girls.
Rebel Girls.
Yes. Because as we are a year later, we're still in Women's History Month, and so Asai, my daughter, and I, we brought on the Rebel Girls series. We had both volumes, and I think we covered a lot of ground between those two books. So
wow, that's amazing.
Yep. So that's what we started off with. That given that it was March. So
wow, we definitely enjoyed that series. We and to say that you went through like 2 of them, it was a lot. It was
we had a lot of airtime. Right.
Yes.
And we had a lot of airtime to fill, as we got more readers to be involved in the literacy gang and we had multiple time slots and trying to do this multiple times in one day, so we had a lot of time to get through 2 volumes. So
and it was great. And it's wonderful to hear that you all looked forward to it. In addition to the educational component, the literacy component, we definitely wanted to create a space of online community. And I must say that, we were one of the first, I believe, to start, really using this online platform in a way in which it could be maximizing it and making sure that we did have community still going during that time, because a lot of people were feeling disconnected and, the feelings of uncertainty. And we're like, hey, we still can connect. There are ways in which we still can connect. And boy, from you and all the other people who are going to funnel through here, we definitely have built community. I mean, it's very possible that I would have met you, in some other course of events had this not have happened, but maybe not, and definitely not in that same way. Those hi, how are you doing? Type situation.
Yeah.
But I really got to know the spirit of you and your children and all of that, and so it's been really great. And again, we just appreciate all the time that you and Sai put into it. And your son came up, but Sai was a trooper. Okay.
Yeah. She looked forward to it. It was as the adults kind of kept it together, but and I think our kids kept it together too. But this has been a real opportunity for our youth, as you see with Shania and Chancellor. I remember just seeing them take this on has really that in itself has been just wonderful to see. So so it's been great.
Thank you so much. We have a comment from one of our fantastic influencers. Ayana, how are you doing, sweetie? She says she looked forward to our team takeover nights and our meetings for the show every week last year. I continue to watch and enjoy the show to this day. I appreciate your hard work, dedication, and teamwork over the past year. Love you all. So do I need to pull out my Kleenex? Because y'all had me. Y'all knew I was crying somebody last year. Ayana, you gonna have my I got a little paper towel right here. That is beautiful. And we're gonna get to the part about the influencers, definitely. So hold tight, Ayana. But thank you so much. We're gonna bring Chancellor up here, and Tanya, if you need to check out, you can, or you're welcome to stay. But I wanted you to get to see Chancellor, to be up here with Chancellor. So let's bring Chancellor and Crystal up here. Oh, hi, Chancellor and Crystal. How are you?
Hello. We're doing wonderfully.
Yes, we have Chancellor, the reading champion, and he's grown up some. Oh my goodness. Mm-hmm. So how's it going, you guys? Chancellor, how old are you now?
5.
You are 5, okay? And so Chancellor is in kindergarten, right?
Yes.
Yes. So Chancellor started kindergarten. This is one of these stories. He started school during this virtual learning time. And we just love to hear from you guys how everything has been going. And then we just want to reminisce because Chancellor was definitely a crowd favorite. Everybody was just in awe of a 4-year-old because he was 4 at the time and coming up here and just devouring the pages of these books like Chancellor. You know, you were our reading champion, right? And you would have your crown on because you were our little reading prince. So let's talk about that. How you all been doing?
We've been doing good considering the circumstances. I must say that virtual learning has really been taking off well for Chancellor. He's adjusting to it like a big boy. As far as me, I'm adjusting to it as an educator. It's something that's definitely different. But it's had its good times and it's had its challenges. And so I'll be leaving out soon to bring in a new bundle.
Yes, congratulations to you and your family.
Thank you. And so my prayer is for all of the educators and students going back that it will be safe and that it will be successful for the remainder of the school year.
Well, thank you. We appreciate all that you're doing for our students and your positivity. And let's talk about some of the highlights. Let's talk about because you all were on that list frequently, and we loved every time we looked at the list and saw that Chancellor, the reading champion, was coming. And I mean, he amassed a fan club. So, Chancellor, did you enjoy coming up here to read for everybody?
Yes.
Yes. How did that feel for you? Were you excited? Were you nervous? Was it fun?
It's fun.
It was fun. So did you know that you had a fan club that people were looking forward to seeing you?
Yeah.
Yes.
Introduce me. Let's introduce your dad, mom, and me.
You want to introduce your dad? Your dad's not on camera right now.
Well, he's welcome to come. If he would like to come, he's welcome to come.
He's
But
not
what was it like
for the
you?
camera.
It was very interesting because we had the 4-year-old who could read, but also, the 4-year-old who is like, I'm 4 and I want to do 4-year-old things. So what was it like for you all coming up here and reading, and what did the virtual village, how has it impacted you all? Uh-oh, did we get a freeze?
I'm back.
Okay. Were you able to hear me?
No, I didn't hear the last part.
Okay, no problem because we're pros at this. I was just asking, what was it like for you all coming up here, especially in the beginning? And then just what has the virtual village, meant for you and Chancellor? How has it impacted you all?
Well, first of all, Star, you've been doing this for such a long time, and I'm just so proud to see where you are now and all of the great things that are happening for you. So I've been, looking up to you and following you for some years, and you're not new to this. And so, like I said, in 2019, I experienced some illness, and it kind of threw me off track. But and I reached out when I saw you doing it. I think it was like a princess reading or something like that, where you had the little crowns and cupcakes for the young ladies. And I was like, oh, that was so nice. And then I told you, I said, well, I need to bring Chancellor out to one of your events. And you just don't know that you helped motivate me and inspire me to get up and get going and get past that illness. And so that's when I met you at the Razor Sharp reading event with BK Fulton, and I've been hooked ever since. So when you had this online event, I was like, yes, we're going to be a part of it. And so we are forever connected to Clever Community in Action, and we'll always be here to support you.
Thank you. Thank you. That definitely means a lot. And let's talk about that event for a minute. So it was Razor Sharp Readers, and BK Fulton came to do his author presentation at the barbershop. And we had our Razor Bucks that, and they had positive affirmations on there. And each one of the children had to read them. So when we get around the chancellor, who is the smallest one there, I'm looking at Crystal because they all had their bucks and they're going to read them. And I'm looking at Crystal like, okay, mommy, are you going to read it? And she was like, he can read it. And he just belts out, I am powerful. And everybody was like, what? So, we learned about the power of Chancellor prior to that. And Crystal, Crystal and I, we go back to the WW Houston days. And so being young together and now you having your son on this platform when we were youngins coming up around at the same time, it really means a lot to me. And I appreciate that. And we're so glad that you're well and that you're just, glowing and everything. So thank you. And Chancellor, what's on your mind? Like what's Chancellor thinking these days?
Tell her what you're thinking. What are you thinking?
I'm thinking about the new baby.
Oh, you're gonna be a big brother. Are you gonna teach Caleb how to read?
Yes.
You gonna read with him?
Yes.
Awesome, awesome. We'd love to see that on the show. And have you been reading a lot? Have you been reading during the school year?
Yeah.
Great.
He's been doing more of the online reading, but we're going to get back into the books because, when you're expecting, sometimes you're tired. So I'm just now trying to get some energy and, coming out of all of that. So definitely we'll be picking back up on the books. I've been looking, and there's so many awesome culturally affirming books out there that we are going to be purchasing and coming back to read.
I believe you because you were on it. You were on it. That library was just growing and growing and growing and growing. The Derek Barnes books. I mean, I saw the Spike Lee and Tanya Lee books. I mean, you built that arsenal up for him, and he, as you provided them, he devoured them, and it was just a beautiful thing to see. So I know somebody else who would like to be up here with Chancellor. And I know somebody else who you guys would probably like to see too, some more crowd favorites. So right now we are going to bring on the Bryant family. Let's get the Bryant family up here.
Turning us on, Braylon.
There they are. There is Portia. There's Peyton and there's Braylon. We are so happy to see you all. How are you doing this evening?
Good. Doing well.
Good. All of these beautiful smiling faces. So you all are, some OGs as well. You guys you came up a lot to read, and we were always excited to see you all come up here. You also were one of the main reasons why I had to have a Kleenex case, box next to me, because we never knew when this duo or trio were going to belt out in song. The melodies that they provided as they read and sang, and then they were also the creators of our first theme song. Now, we'll get into that. But let me welcome you all. So how's it going, Peyton? It's going well. We can't hear. Is that me? Because I can't hear you all too well.
All right. Can you hear now?
Yes, I hear you now. Yeah.
All right. You got to lean in and speak up. Yeah.
So how's it going, Miss Peyton? I call you Powerful Peyton.
I'm doing good. And doing virtual school and getting the lunches from the school after school.
All right. Now, do you have the fro out? Is that what I'm saying? Yeah. Can you come closer, please? Because the world needs to see that. I need you to come a little bit closer so we can take all of that in. You need to do one of these numbers right here for us, so we can see that beautiful crown on your head, because I'm loving it. I am loving yes, we deserve a close-up shot of that. Yes, I love it. Beautiful. And where is Braylon? Where did you run off to, Mr. Braylon?
He's being silly.
All right, Braylon's camera shy today. Hi, Braylon. That's okay. We won't force you, but we're so glad you're here. We are so glad you're here. We haven't seen you in a minute. So it's good to see you both, and y'all are repping for the literacy gang. Okay. So Portia, tell us a little bit about, you've been a part of this literacy gang. This you were the read-in, the literacy gang, the virtual village, all of these things. As we have evolved, you all have been part of it. So tell us, how how has the literacy gang impacted you?
Well, we wanted to talk about the top 5 things that we really loved about being a part of the Clever Communities in action. And of course, one of the spotlights or top 5 is being able to write the Communities in Action theme song, Rising to the Equation from, Sir Rodney Jordan. I had to come through and make sure I wasn't taking too long. So we had to make it happen. So that was definitely one of the top 5 moments.
Before you move on to the others, I want to speak on that. That was everything. When that happened, we were like, okay, we're official now. We have a theme song. And Rodney did keep suggesting that to you. And then this lady, she had the nerve to just randomly text it to me, y'all. She didn't say, hey, I have the theme song. She just randomly texted. And so then I go, busy day, I get to the text, and of course, tears. I'm like, wow, this was phenomenal. It was so great. And it meant so much to us. And it meant so much for the whole virtual village family to have that, something we could sing together in unison that totally represented what we had going on here. So we appreciate that. And if that's number 5, what a 4, 3, 2, and 1.
Well, we all had something to contribute. Yeah. So Peyton wanted to say,
I like recording in the studio with Miss Star. That was really fun. We had lots of laughs and recording, and I liked being on camera.
So all of it was really, being able to enhance self-esteem and confidence and speaking. It was just a great moment. Braylon, what did you say that your favorite part about being a part?
My favorite is check it in, check it out.
When he read, what's the name of that book? You gotta show it to him so he can remember.
A library.
Yes, he was talking about that was his favorite moment, being a part of that reading. So being that the schools just shut down all of a sudden, it was a wonderful gift for Clever Communities in Action to say, you all can come here. The schools have locked you out, but you're welcome. You're welcome in our village. You're welcome in our family. And that meant so much. And it really was, and still is a family that has bonded and has created so many beautiful moments. So we definitely appreciate the village, because it takes a village to raise a child. And you all truly, truly made that come to life in the virtual world. And when we didn't know what this was going to look like. So we appreciate that. We appreciate you. And then reading as a family, that was everything. As well as when family came over, then nieces and nephews were able to spotlight, and they'd never done anything like that before. So you offer just a wealth of opportunity for the community and expand it in ways that I know you all never imagined or was able to foresee, but it had ripple effects across the board.
I loved meeting Miss Star. That's very fun meeting you, but I felt like I knew you a lot of times.
I love meeting you as well. And it did feel like the bonds that we've created here, it does feel like that. I feel like I've known you, Portia. I've known you, Peyton. Like that we've known each other. And even Tanya, I forget, like, I haven't met Tanya in person. Like, we really can build these bonds online, and to the point that Tanya made, and that you're making, despite those physical barriers, we still found a way to build community, and community is people, and it's been wonderful people who have come through and made this community be what it is. So is that 5, 4, 3, 2, 1?
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. But not only was it that, okay, it's just what this community, what it is. It was your style and your grace of how you were reading everyone's comments continually, pulling everyone in, making sure everyone felt affirmed and loved and really brought into the fold. And then you had the whole, all right, this is our gang. When people would read in for the first time, you say, okay, you've been inducted into the gang. And so I know you weren't ready for it, but you didn't know that once you came and you read, then you're a part of the village, you're a part of the gang. So that whole vibe that you created was so authentic and natural for you. It was a beautiful thing to be a part of and to experience.
Thank you so much. Definitely appreciate that. Rodney and I, was definitely our goal to make sure. I mean, that's just what it is. We look, y'all know I'll bust out in an old song too. We are family. And that's what we had to convey. And definitely during that time. And I mean, we had, again, you all are wonderful to say, it was a trying time, and it's still, it's not over. But had this not occurred, it's a possibility, Portia, I could have met you, but I may not have met you, and it wouldn't have been the same way. And then I wouldn't have known powerful Peyton and beautiful Braylon. And Peyton speaking to, when she says she liked being in the studio and being on camera, she does the quote for season 4. As we graduated into being the Virtual Village show, we started having pre-recorded segments with young people on there delivering those segments. And so she does the quote from, our African American, our ancestors, or whomever now or before, who have said powerful things that coincide with our moment in history segment. And she did an excellent job. One time she made me throw, I don't know, what did I have in my hand, y'all? The book, because she delivered it so perfectly. And we're just so proud of our young people. And so Peyton, your village is with you. Braylon and Chancellor, your village is here. You all have your beautiful families, but I hope you all know that your virtual village family is here to love on you and support you as well. So, this means the world to us. So Rodney, you've
one more thing. And yeah, I really enjoyed Mr. Rodney reading the 40. Is the 40?
Between that and Tanya inside, women in it, like, yes, we enjoyed that. We learned a lot too. So what's on your mind, Mr. Jordan?
I'm just sitting here enjoying and reminding how I don't have to say a lot. so I appreciate that. And then I also thinking about as Portia was describing all the activities going on in the background. Right now we have this professional production crew. But back in the early days, we were doing the ticker, we were doing the comments, we were doing the banner, we were doing some of everything. So I was going back and looking through some of these banners that we still have up here. Some of them I think go back. We used to tell people, give us a share, please, and let us know if you want to be a virtual village reader, and we had all kinds of things going on. So that was one of the things I was thinking about as Portia was talking, because we were doing everything on top of reading 2-3 times a day and getting guests and finding books and delivering books and enjoying all the great things that was happening on the show. So you all just have me walking back down memory lane.
Yes, and shout out to the crew who is making that happen. Like you said, we do have a crew back there, and that we were learning things on the fly at that point. And I think we were being very innovative early. A lot of people have adapted StreamYard at this point, and are using that. But I think we were some of the early users of StreamYard and taking it, utilizing it in places in ways in which it had not been used yet. But we were doing all of that. And speaking of that, some people who were some StreamYard champions were our influencers. And I remember the night they debuted, Kalia was hosting it with Jameer, and she was also doing all of that with 6 different people at one time. It was amazing. So we have Ayana tuned in, and we want to bring on Jameer, who also he was one of our Virtual Village 2020 influencers, and he went on to have his own show. And he also is now one of our broadcast techs. Like he's the man behind the scenes and in front of the scenes and just all around the scene. So let's bring on Jameer. Let's bring on Jameer now. All right.
Hey. Good to be in front of the screen.
How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Just happy to be. Can't believe it's been a year, but I'm doing great. Just enjoying the show.
Well, we are enjoying you as well. Real quickly because the time is creeping up on us, but and we still have our community connector who we want to connect with tonight. But tell a little bit about your journey with Clever Communities in Action in this virtual space that we've been in. You've done it all. You've been involved in all of it. So tell us a little bit about that. Your time, particularly your time as an influencer. And now,
and graduating virtually and going on to college virtually too.
So March 13th was my last day of high school, and then they were like, "We'll be back in 2 weeks," and then 2 weeks turned into the rest of senior year, and I was just at home coasting, ready to go to Howard, and then Miss Kinzie Hendricks, she sent me something and was like, "There's this opportunity to be a virtual intern." And I was like, "Okay, cool, I'll do it." I filled everything out. And then it was a phone call that I missed. And then I got the phone call a little bit later and it was Miss Starr. And then after that, everything was just downhill from there. And it was I became an influencer. I met Kalia, Q, Ayana, Trinity, and Paul. That's a throwback. And we just clicked because we had our whole platform to speak from a youthful perspective on society as a whole. And that opened up a lot of doors for us because it was this was an outlet for us to have our voices heard. And the whole Virtual Village Influencer show was just magic. It was lightning in a bottle, really, because we had people coming in and just telling us they really enjoyed learning from us. And it also just gave us a chance to be in community with people who were a couple streets away from us, but we never even knew. And to be in community with people all over the world and the country for real. And that was great because we were all shut in. I had my senior year cut off. So human interaction was ended until CCIA came. And then after that, I guess I did a good job because I came back and I was like, "Hey, you want to be a broadcast tech?" And I was like, I was a little unsure about it because I was the communications guy. So it was Trinity and Q who were handling a lot of the broadcast tech stuff with Kalia. Kalia was a beast with it. She was quarterbacking everything. So I was yeah, I'll try it. And then I became a broadcast tech, and behind the scenes, watching the show grow, we had an intro, and then we started having ads. And it was this is nice. This is nice. And we started having our own themes and stuff. And then coming into the winter, I had my own broadcast with 2050 and beyond, and workshopping that and watching that grow and develop, and just being able to have that same platform we did with the Virtual Village Influencer show, but to make it more so HBCU specific for the collegiate students. That was beautiful in itself and allowed me to just strengthen connections and friendships, as well as just to be able to speak more freely and fluently about the things that pertain to me and that I cared about. And then after that, show wasn't even over because I was back with the broadcast tech with season 4, whole new intro, more ads, more designs. It was just it was a lot, and it was great just seeing how it keeps getting better and better, like we said back in April. and I can't wait to see what we do like next season.
Awesome. And, we're extremely proud of you and all the influencers because, as Jameer said, their senior year just got cut off due to this. And, despite all that was going on with them, they did a great job here. And 3 of them have gone off to college, all HBCUs, and they are thriving, doing a wonderful job. We could not be more proud of them and just glad to be a part of their story. And then we have Ayana and Paul and Trinity. Trinity's a senior. And they're doing great as well. Indeed, they are in the fold. They are in the family forever. So look out for those faces. You haven't seen the last of them. And so thank you for so eloquently stating your experience. And Rodney, was there anything that you wanted to share with Jameer or any of our wonderful villagers, literacy gang members, and generals who we have up here?
I mean, again, just thank you. Their support made this happen. Some of them were part of the innovation as we were trying to figure out what we're going to do. I think Jameer's, said a lot. He and the influencers brought their peer group to the fold. So, I'm just appreciative of all the relationships. I knew Portia and Peyton and her crew, and obviously I knew Tanya, but I met all the rest kind of, through the virtual village. And so I look forward to our in-person celebration that we say we're going to have.
Yes.
So maybe this summer will be the time where we'll be able to do that in-person celebration.
Yes, I am looking forward to that as well. We tried it, last year and it just didn't. Look at them. and it didn't work out, but it will happen. It is coming, and we look forward to that. And I just want to thank each and every one of you for all that because each of you are, we love what you have brought to the virtual village, but you also do wonderful things for the community. In your own right, we have educators up here, school board members, mommies, we have anger management counselors, like all kind of wonderful things going on here. And Jameer, we talked about him being in school and handling all of these things. And so it's a dynamic group of people who have been able to come together and make such a strong impact. And we appreciate you, powerful Peyton. We love you dearly, and we're so proud of you, and know that you are doing a great job in all your endeavors as you are growing up as a young girl in this world right now, and your impact. And we're looking forward to what you're going to do. And beautiful Braylon, with your powerful reading that you do when you come up here and that personality that you have, we love that. And he's always, he has a quest for exploration and all of that. And we love it. And we want to keep providing things for you to explore. And then Chancellor, our reading champion, with your crown, whether you visibly put that crown on or not, you are a little prince, and we love you dearly. We are so proud of you. And you made adults cry. You got everybody enthusiastic and letting people see that, yes, the babies can read at 4. That's a phenomenal feat. And you did it so well. And Crystal, you were always up here with him. Y'all were the dynamic duo, and that love between you all. Chancellor, look at me. We are so proud of you. We are so proud of you. Okay. And so we hope that you, I felt it right back to you, sweetie, right back to you. And so we are wishing you all the best with the remainder of your kindergarten school year. Can't wait to see you in person again. And, you all keep us posted on the debut of your little brother. Okay. And Tanya, again, Tanya was in here with us every day. Well, not every day, but it was like, and it was a lot. It was more than people may realize. The routine that we had with that, it was great. It was wonderful, but it was definitely, a commitment. And Tanya was committed, and we appreciate it. And again, bringing your daughter and your son in on it, familiar faces that we grew to know and love. And you as a school board member, definitely extending yourself to make sure, again, can't be in the buildings, but making sure to be a part of other ways in which people are trying to keep learning and literacy at the forefront. And then Jameer, look, you know where we're going. You know what it is. We have our own language now. So you know what it is, sweetie. So all of you all, we love you dearly. Thank you for taking the time to come and reminisce with us tonight. And you all are in the literacy gang. So, you are welcome to come back up here anytime. And don't be surprised when you all get that call for season 5, okay? All right. All right. Well, we thank you all so much, and y'all have a great evening. We're going to get a quick word from our sponsors, and then we're going to bring on our community connector. So we love you all dearly, and we look forward to seeing you all soon. Don't you viewers go anywhere.
After the holidays are over, most Americans prepare for taxes. Titan Tax is ready to make filing your taxes as stress-free as possible. This veteran-owned virtual tax office will prepare and submit your tax return safely from the comfort of your home. If you filed unemployment for the first time or wondering about home office tax deductions, Titan Tax Professional has the answer for you. Contact us today at TitanTax.com or 757-565-7781. Titan Tax, real help from real people.
Greetings, virtual villagers. I am Peyton. Today's quote is from Thurgood Marshall. The measure of a country's greatness is its ability to retain compassion in its time of crisis.
All right, there's that powerful Peyton with that delivery. All right, we tried to tell y'all. So if you were just seeing it for the first time, then you got to see how she delivers. And we love that. Woo, the way she delivered those lines. Ooh, we are so proud of our young people and our powerful Peyton. And so you guys, everybody tuned in. We hope you are enjoying this trip down memory lane. Again, it is our 1-year anniversary of coming up here during this COVID crisis. Everybody tuned in. We are here. You were here. We are all in this together. What a year 2020 was, and hopefully we are coming on the other side of this thing, but we've been doing it together. And if you are here right now tuned in, here's a virtual high five to you in the spirit of Shania, because we are still here. All right. And so now it is time for us to bring on our community connector, because Tuesday nights are the nights when we bring on people who engage with us, people who are doing things in the community, and we want people to know about it. And they come on and they read and they tell us about what's going on. And we appreciate our community connector tonight for her patience. We have not had an anniversary show before, so it took a little longer than expected, but boy, it's a feel good moment, and it's a thing that needed to happen. So now without any further ado, we're going to bring on, and I love her name. We're going to bring on Dr. Erica Woods Warrior. All right.
Oh, there she is.
All right, there she is. How are you doing?
I'm wonderful. Thank you for having me. It was so awesome to listen to all the stories and the history of the show and to see all those faces, having made it through a year of the uncertain and the unknown. And just to hear how important reading is to everyone was just wonderful. It was amazing to listen to.
Thank you so much, and we appreciate your patience. we definitely do. Glad to hear that you enjoyed it, and we're glad now that you were a part of this. So, Rodney, you let us know a little bit about this dynamic woman.
It's very interesting. As we were telling the story of how we connected, I was sitting here thinking, I don't think I've met Dr. Woods Warrior in person. So yeah, maybe a few years ago, I had somebody reach out and tell me about this dynamic education professional who was doing some great things and wanted to help out with Norfolk Public Schools. And she'll tell the story. She'll say I never contacted her back. I'll say I did, but we're gonna go down that path. But in this past year, since we started the virtual village, Dr. Woods Warrior has been involved with a very important educational learning project in the city of Norfolk through her consulting firm and work that she does. And so kind of like parallel to what we've been doing virtually, Dr. Woods Warrior has been leading some things that are very important to education and literacy and learning. And so it just seemed appropriate to have an opportunity for her to come up here and talk about all the great work that she's been doing for years before I've had the opportunity to engage with her, but definitely some work that she's been leading here in the city of Norfolk that I also think sets the tone for our entire region. So that's my brief introduction.
Well, that's a lot. That is a lot, and that is great. So we are glad to have you here with us again. So we want to learn more about what you have going on. So if you could share with us just a little bit to whet everybody's palate, and then we're gonna step away and let you read, and we'll come back and talk a little bit more about what you have going on. So give us a little bit. Don't give them everything yet.
I won't give them everything. So thank you, Rodney, for the introduction. So I have been involved in education. This is actually my 24th year teaching in higher education as professor. And actually, I would love to donate to you all 24 books to honor that 24 years. I was blessed to have founded the Carrington Institute for Teaching and Learning, an organization that provides academic coaching and tutoring for the 7 cities. But most recently, the project that Rodney and I have been working on together has been Believe in Learning Norfolk. It is a citywide program that offers learning opportunities to everyone, from infants to adult learners. And so we're just excited. We have over 100 partners on board in the community, organizations, businesses, churches, nonprofits. And so just lots to offer families who are, I would say, who are looking for any type of learning opportunity under the sun, from physical fitness to spirituality to ways to innovate, to gardening. Or even traditional methods of learning, such as classes, going back to college, building your skills.
That's excellent and much needed. And I think, a lot of times people talk about not being aware of all the things that your city has to offer. And so you guys are putting it out there and making people aware of things that may have, they are in possible close proximity to them, but they didn't know that it existed. And all those things you name are important all the time, but especially with what we've been dealing with lately. So that is excellent. That is excellent. And we're glad to be, included in that roster. So we're grateful for that. And but we want to see you get your read on. We want to continue to talk about that, definitely. But we want to see you get your read on. So what are you going to read for us tonight?
I am reading one of my favorites tonight, Star. This is called Luke Goes to Bat. It's all about a little boy who wants to be someone else and learns that it's more important to be himself.
Well, that's an important lesson. So we're going to step away and let you do your thing. We're going to learn about Luke, okay?
All right. So this book is by Rachel Isadora. Luke Goes to Bat. It was Brooklyn. It was summertime. It was baseball. All day long, the kids on Bedford Avenue played stickball in the streets. Except for Luke. When you're older, his brother Nicky told him, he's just a squirt, one of the other kids said, laughing. So Luke watched the games from the curb, and then he'd practice. He threw a ball against the wall next to the deli. He practiced his swing over and over again. He ran as fast as he could up and down the block. He wanted to be ready when it was time. And at night, whenever the Dodgers were playing, Luke hurried up to the roof where he could see the lights of Ebbets Field. When he heard the crowd go wild, he imagined his favorite player, Jackie Robinson, had hit a home run. Someday, Luke thought, I will hit a home run too. Finally, one morning, the team was short a player. Frankie had to go to his aunt's. Who we gonna get? Hey, said Luke, what about me? Everyone was quiet. "Aw, come on," said his brother. "Give him a chance. We got nobody else. He better not mess up." They put him in left field. No balls came his way, so he just stood there. When it was his turn up at bat, Luke took a few practice swings, then stepped up to the plate. "I'll show them," Luke muttered. The ball whizzed past. Strike one. Luke held the bat higher. Strike two. Luke was barely in position when the next ball flew past and the catcher yelled, "You're out." "You stink," Luke heard. He got up to bat one more time, but struck out again. "Sometimes it just goes that way," his brother said. Frankie came back in the afternoon, so Luke spent the rest of the day on the curb. He was sure they'd never let him play again. Grandma was in the kitchen when he got home. "I finally got a chance to play with the team," Luke told her. Grandma could tell the game hadn't gone well. "Not everyone plays like Jackie Robinson all the time," she said. "Not even Jackie Robinson." Luke didn't smile. "By the way," Grandma said, "are you doing anything tomorrow night?" Luke shrugged. "Well, if you're so busy, somebody else will have to go with me to the game at Ebbets Field." "What? You mean a real game?" Grandma held up 2 tickets. Ebbets Field was ablaze with lights. By this time, Luke didn't have to imagine the game. "Thanks for taking me, Grandma," he said. They watched the Dodgers and Phillies battle it out. The game went into extra innings. By the time the Dodgers got up to bat in the bottom of the 14th inning, the score was still tied 8-8. With 2 outs, Jackie Robinson was up. The crowd roared. "Come on, Jackie," Luke yelled. The pitcher threw a curveball. Jackie swung. "Strike one," the umpire called. The pitcher wound up. He threw a fastball and Jackie missed. "Strike two." 3 balls followed. All eyes at Ebbets Field rested on Jackie. The Dodgers could still win. Luke shouted with the crowd, "Give it to him, Jackie. You show him." Jackie looked around from under his cap, then dug his feet into the dirt. The pitcher began his windup. "You can do it, Jackie," Luke whispered. "You can do it." Suddenly, Luke heard the loud crack of the bat. The ball was flying over his head when he looked up, flying over the scoreboard, flying over the walls of Ebbets Field. The crowd went wild. Luke stood up on his seat and cheered. "You showed him, Jackie. What a game," Grandma said. "See, you can't give up. Even Jackie Robinson's got to keep trying." Luke didn't answer. When Luke got home, he ran up to the roof. The lights were going out at Ebbets Field. "Come on down, it's bedtime," Nikki called. Just then, Luke saw a ball lying on the ground. "Look," he said, picking it up. "This is the home run ball that Jackie Robinson hit tonight." "Nah, that's just some old ball a kid hit up on the roof," Nick said, laughing as he went downstairs. And that's when Luke saw him. It was Jackie Robinson himself. "I hit that one for you, kid." Before Luke could say a word, Jackie ran to the dugout to join the other Dodgers, but he looked back one more time. "Hey, kid," he said, "your grandma was right. You can't give up." "Thanks, Mr. Robinson." The final lights went out at Ebbets Field. Luke looked down at the winning ball and smiled. "I won't," he whispered to himself. And he didn't.
That was a great selection. Of course, we love what the story was about. Like I told you, I don't know that book, and I try to pride myself in knowing so many of the Black children's books. But that was an intro for me. I love the illustration and the moral of the story. So thank you for helping us keep reading alive. That was great. What did you think of the story, Rodney?
Loved it, of course. So I think it's a great selection, and for a lot of young people that I interact with, I hope they're watching and listening, because I think there's an important message in that book.
Definitely, and we found throughout this time, it's been reinforced that a lot of times these books are great for children and adults, but things that sometimes parents may find it hard to have conversations about certain things. You can use these books, and they serve multiple purposes. So you're keeping literacy at the forefront, family reading together, but also these lessons are, an intro, a foundation to be able to carry these conversations further. So we really enjoyed that selection that you provided. And so let's jump back. I know our time is coming up on us, it is what it is. But just share a little bit more with us about your initiative. And if people want to learn more about it, how they can, please let our viewers know that.
Absolutely. So
can I add, I'm sorry, Dr. Woodsworth, can I also add, talk about what you do in your organization, how others can benefit from it?
Absolutely. So I'll go quickly. I know we're pressed for time. So the Carrington Institute for Teaching and Learning offers academic support services for teachers, students, families, and caretakers. And so if you have someone in your family who may not be adjusting well to the virtual environment, or maybe having some trouble transitioning, students with special needs, but students, I think we all have special needs. We all have special ways of learning. And so we offer support services such as assessments, academic coaching, SAT preparation, tutoring in every subject. We even have foreign languages, and we have a speech therapist on staff as well. And so you can always reach us at our website, which is the carringtoninstitute.org, carringtoninstitute.org, and that's with a C. And then the work that we've been talking about tonight is the Believe in Learning Norfolk project. And that project was started by Mayor Kenny Alexander years ago. It was an idea that he thought had reached its time, where all of the organizations in Norfolk come together for the common goal of making sure that our young people and the families that serve our young people get well educated and move to the next level, whatever that next level is to you. For some of us, it might be education, but for others, it may be a boost in your career. You may be ready to move to the next level or change careers. And then for some of us, maybe you're retired and you'd like to give back to the community or find some new skills, find some new hobbies. And so that's what the Believe in Learning Norfolk initiative is really all about. If you'd like more information about that initiative, you can go to norfolk.gov/lifelong learning. And you can get a list of all of our host organizations. The partners are all listed there with their individual calendars. You also can get wonderful information about what's coming to your neighborhood, specifically in areas that interest you. So if you have family members who love dance and others who love the arts, and maybe even others who want help in school, you can get all of that information now in one place. So norfolk.gov/lifelong learning is where you can get your hands on all those goodies.
Well, that's a lot. And it's a lot of important things, a lot of useful things. Sometimes we get bombarded with information and it's just an overload, but those are things that we definitely need and can use. So I appreciate you being here and sharing that with everybody. And I love when you said that we all have special needs when it comes to learning. I love that because it's so true. And we need to destigmatize that phrase. So I love that. Love what you have going on. That's a one-stop shop for a lot of important things there. So we definitely want to help spread the word about that. And so now though, it's time, I need my ancestral drum roll to happen right here. And it is time for me to induct you into the literacy gang. So I want to let you know, Dr. Erica Woods Warrior, that you are officially a member of our literacy gang. And this gang is founded upon a love of reading, of community, culture, and just being there for one another. You are now in this gang. You cannot leave this gang. You can't get out of that. You cannot escape this love. And you are welcome back here anytime that you wish to be here. So thank you so much and welcome to the literacy gang.
Thank you. I'm excited to be a part. Thank you all so much for inviting me and listening to me read, my favorite thing to do.
All right.
Oh, that is wonderful. You fit right in. And again, we're glad to have you as a member. So thank you so much. And was there anything that you wanted to share before you leave us tonight?
I just want to congratulate you all on your first anniversary, the first of many, many anniversaries, I'm sure. And I'm so proud of the work you're doing. When I thought, what can I do? There isn't enough that we can do to help you to do the work that you're doing. It's so meaningful. It was so good to hear from generations in your introduction of how powerful this has really been. And I just want to share with you really quickly, just because I see Rodney over there smiling, how impactful you both have been in our community without even realizing the impact sometimes you have. It was many years ago when I learned about the work that Rodney was doing in education, and I was in graduate school. And I had 2 infants at home at the time. And I remember going home and reading to them. I would read to them my PhD stuff for their bedtime stories because I was, And one of my professors said to me at that time, they're going to grow up and love reading. And that was 17 years ago. And both of my kids are straight A students. They would rather read than watch TV or play a video game any day of the week. And so I just encourage you to keep doing what you're doing. And I am so, so proud of you. If there's ever anything that we can do to support your work, please let us know.
Thank you. Thank you. We definitely appreciate that. And thank you for all that you are doing. And I love that story about those lifelong readers you have cultivated. That is great. And just the fact that you were reading to them while they were young. We focus on culturally affirming literature around here, but pick up what you have, pick up what you have. And then you were reading advanced things to them as well. And they rose to the occasion. So a family that prioritizes reading and literacy, it definitely pays off. And what you said is a testament to that. In this video game, overly, tech, just so many things going on at one time. And yours would rather curl up with a book and read. I think that is beautiful. So you've done a great job. Thank you for sharing that with us. And again, thank you for all that you do. Rodney, was there anything that you wanted to say to Dr. Woods Warrior before she
I just like to, return it that her impact is very significant, and she's a consummate professional. And just watching her work through this Believe in Norfolk campaign that she led, she birthed, she helped to design and get engaged was very impressive. And I just look forward to being supportive of whatever her next project or projects may be.
Thank you.
Yes, definitely. Well, thank you so much. And let's not let this be the last time. We appreciate you, and you have a great evening. Okay.
Good night.
All right, Jordan. This has been, going down this memory lane trip. It's been really nice, and we enjoyed having our guests on in the beginning. I mean, they're not guests, but having our villagers, yes, our family, thank you, having our family on here. Some of them we haven't seen once school, really started going. We see them in the comments, but we haven't seen them up here. So it was great to reunite with them again. I definitely enjoyed that, and it means a lot to us to hear what this virtual village means to so many people. But this virtual village is nothing without all of the people. That's what the village is, and boy, we just have the best villagers around. And then to you, Rodney, this thing that we started a year ago is been great. You know, you're a wonderful co-host, and I'm enjoying it, and I look forward to, you know, with our new format. I'm like, Tuesdays, I'm ready for Tuesday so I can cut up with Rodney. And you know, we've been having a wonderful time here, and you've been dedicated. I appreciate that. And then another shout out to our behind the scenes crew who are, you know, like there's so much more to that than people would know from, you know, the transitioning, all of the different segments that we have, and there's wonderful branding that is going on here, and these wonderful the videography and photography and all these things that make it special. We, you know, there's a lot of thought and time put in to make it look a certain way for our community, because we know that our children, our families deserve the best. And so we appreciate what happens behind the scenes as well, and know that there are also some loving, caring hands back there, you know, making those things happen. So all of this is just really a village effort. It all comes down to the village. And the name of this organization is Clever Communities in Action. And so a lot of clever things have gone down with these communities, and we stay in action. We stay in action. So, you know, we thank you all for tuning in. Thank you for those of us who have been with us for this entire year. And at whatever point that you trickled in here, we are glad that you're here. Make sure you click that share button and tell somebody so more people can know about us. Let's keep reading, okay? And this is the last week of season 4. But you will be able to find season 4 and season 3. We're going to make sure that happens. And we are working on season 5, and it's going to be great. Okay, so have no fear. And we also have some other announcements about something great that we're going to be doing. And you will be seeing some of our influencers again with that. And they're, you know, I won't say stepping it up, because there's nothing to compare to what they did. But just another step on some things that they're going to be doing that's going to impact the entire Hampton Roads community and beyond. So, and we're, you know, don't y'all go anywhere, because as we leave out, we have something great for you to see on the way out. But as always, Rodney, you know, you want that last word?
I don't want it, but you give it to me. So, but let me say something, Miss Donnell. You know, when we first started getting this thing going, I think, you know, she was one who would always introduce people into the literacy gang, you know, virtually. So I just wanted to, you know, recognize her and thank her for all the work that she was doing and helping to bring folks, a lot of young people.
The initiator.
Yes, the initiator. I was trying to think of the right word. And then to you, I have no idea how you maintain the enthusiasm and passion that you do, but I admire it. And, you know, the skills you bring are just so admirable, and extraordinary. So I just want to say that. And it's been a pleasure. We look forward to the upcoming year.
All right. Well, thanks so much, Rodney. And of course, all you do for the community, you are appreciated by many. Everywhere I go, they know my co-host in this show, because if somebody has a Rodney story. So, and it's always a good one. So with that said, we have this little clip that we want to play for you all. And it's a succession of, you know, how we've grown throughout this year, at least the first half of last year. So y'all hold tight, check that out, and have a great evening. Peace. All right, good morning. How is everybody doing on this Monday morning in March, where we are, what are we experiencing, Rodney? Like a completely different time, different course of events.
No one on earth can steal the joy inside of me.
That's right. No one can steal your joy
inside of me.
Whenever Mike flew into town, Audrey and her mama cooked.
Stardom. I'll have to show everyone that Ruby is our own booker.
And I see you have a beautiful person with us.
Yes, this is my daughter, Sai. Say hi.
Tanya and Sai are going to be our first set of readers. Let me bring Rodney back up here.
And I know a lot of Black people have similar stories, and I know a lot more Black people have stories that are similar but a lot more fatal, and which is why we wanted to partially dedicate this show to those who progress
Everyone
with us.
can be great because everyone can serve. You don't have to have a college degree to serve. You don't have to make your subject and your verb agree to serve. You don't have to know about
talk about things sometimes. You can infuse a book to get the conversation started around certain things. So I think that is an excellent book you have there. Thank you so much for writing it, and thank you so much for sharing it. And
came about, and so 14 years later, it was time to put it in the book form. And so
I happened to stumble across this book, not really knowing what it was about, but I started reading it and I was like, oh my God, this is like, it's like God came down from the heavens and said, this is the book for you. So it's a book that discusses conquering stress before you take a test or an exam.
Yes, I performed at Carnegie Hall. That was a lot of fun.
She just said that like
it's nothing, you know.
I'm so thankful to be on this show today.
Oh, you just gonna melt everybody's heart like that?